Hi, I'm Coach Pat Kibler here with the two captains, Sam Jordan, Sam Atherton. It's my first season head coach here. Looking forward to starting the season with the guys and getting into training tomorrow and about a week to the first game, so looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks for being here this morning. You're a head coach for the first time. How has the adjustment period been for you, and what did you learn the most from Coach Keating?
Yeah, I think the adjustment period's been interesting. Obviously, I think without knowing, Coach Keating kind of was getting us ready for that role. Again, questioning why we're doing certain things, but looking back on it now, that's why he had us doing it. So the adjustment hasn't been too big. Obviously, there's some things I'm still learning and figuring out through the process, but it's been super enjoyable, super fun, getting to do all these things for the first time. So, and probably the biggest takeaway from Coach Keating would be his attention to detail. I think, he's been doing this for so long that little things probably most people will let slide, but I think the way he's able to pull those details and why they're important is something that I'm going to take into my coaching career, hopefully, and make it as successful and as long as his has been. So,
how will you kind of differ in your philosophy, and how will you stay the same, do you think?
Yeah, I think staying the same is pretty easy. I think the culture that Coach Keating has built is something that I want to continue, whether it's the FFF, whether it's the Saturday devotionals, things like that. The way that he's able to get the team to mesh and bond so quickly, especially when we have such big turnover rates each year. I think that's something that I want to keep going as well. And then I think every coach is going to be different, of course. I like to see the game played a certain way, and not to say Coach Keating's was wrong, but I think definitely some tactics and some changes in formations and the way that maybe we press or the way that we sit off, whatever it may be. I think that's probably the biggest differentiating factor between myself and Coach Keating.
Last year, 8-3, but this is a new team. Obviously, you're the new head man in charge. What's your outlook for this season?
Yeah, I think 8-3 from where we were at one point in the season is a remarkable season. I think we can still be unhappy about it, but I think the comeback that we had at the end of the season was something to build on. So I think that for me is kind of the standard. That's the bare minimum. I think going 500, knock on wood, I haven't had a losing season yet as a college coach, so I think that's probably the bare minimum is to finish 500, somewhere middle of the table, especially like you said, it's a whole new team, and I think getting the guys to bond and gel quickly is going to be the toughest thing. So I think kind of anything over 500 would be a successful season for myself personally. Obviously, we're chasing that trophy, but at the same time, I think going 500 would be very, very hard to do, and so I'll be very happy with that.
Sam Jordan comes back, grad student this year after he scored 6 goals in 2024. Where do you see him growing the most?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it was kind of baptism by fire. Showed up and was made a captain after 2 weeks. So I think the leadership and the growth and leadership that he's shown over the last 8 to 10 months has been remarkable. And so I think that area, now he's a lot more comfortable with leading guys and knowing how the program runs, knowing how our coaching staff runs. So I think him growing as a leader is super important. And I think last year again he was kind of thrown into a team that in the attacking half wasn't very good, wasn't very productive, so he's probably doing a role that he didn't want to do or he's probably not familiar with a lot of defending. So I think this year, hopefully getting him higher up in the attack, and really I still don't think we've seen the best of him, and he scored 6 goals, so I think being able to pull the absolute best out of him in the attacking half rather than the defensive half, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Just from my perspective, first glance, defense seems to be more the strength of this team, and under Keating was always a defensive-minded team. Got a lot of guys that are upperclassmen this year, like Ali, and just for one example, what encourages you about this group coming back?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think everyone on our back line this year will be an upperclassman, either a junior or senior, so there's really no excuses for them and also myself and the coaching staff. Any kind of dumb mistakes or things like that, I think those should all be out of the system by the time you're a junior, senior. And so I'm really, encouraged with the fact that we do have experience and we have graduate students, seniors in the back line, and then obviously we have, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the conference behind them. So I think, having that security blanket at the back kind of frees us up now a bit going forward and in the midfield to get more numbers higher up the pitch. But yeah, I think just like you said, experience is, you can't teach it. So that'd be a great thing to have this year.
And then just kind of go through who are some notable incoming freshmen fans and myself can keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think we have obviously a massive class of incoming freshmen, and a lot of them are local, which I think is really cool to see. I think there's a lot of talent in the Charlotte area. So, just off the top of my head, Landon Sykes is joining us after being in England for the last year, playing for the Stephen Gerrard Academy. Corey Lowndes from Clover, Zach Hoyt from Charlotte Independent. So all these guys, I think, they're all going to be fighting for a first team spot, and we're just really excited to see them here now after recruiting them for the past 10 to 12 months.
And then finishing up here, a few of these. What are some things you're looking for early in the season that could kind of be a barometer for a successful year?
Yeah, I think the way we have set up our preseason, with no disrespect to the other teams, I think it's a bit of an easier one until Mars Hill. So I think getting 2 quick wins off the bat would be massively important for us. And obviously figuring out our style of play in that time span as well. But I think the biggest measure of success for me would be kind of how the guys are interacting after this first week of preseason. 33 new guys coming into a squad. So if at the end of preseason it kind of looks like nothing's changed from last year, I think that would be a success in my eyes, and then obviously the results will come. But I think getting these guys acquainted and used to being around each other and knowing how each other play, knowing how each other interact, how they work off the pitch, I think that's going to be the measure of success for myself and the coaching staff.
Sam Jordan, what is your favorite memory of Coach Keating?
I would say just the impact that he left on us. There were quite a lot of moments where I had tough times, and coach was always there for me. So.
Okay. And Sam Atherton, how does soccer allow you to express yourself?
I'd probably say just getting out there and having the freedom to just play, just do what you want. Because I've always played soccer, so it's always how I express myself, really. So yeah.
Okay. And then back to the other Sam. What are your for both you guys? What are your personal goals for this year?
I'd say first and foremost, get healthy, get fit, recover from injuries, and like Coach Pat said, majority go into that leadership role and help the lads who are coming in maintain what we leave for the next 4 years. It's going to be important.
And same for you, Sam. Personal goals for this year?
I'd just say being there for the team always, just leading the team as best I can, playing, hopefully, and then winning conference.
And then a fun one to end for both you guys. For you, Sam, describe Coach Kibler in one word.
Say faithful.
I would say stubborn.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff.